final episode of Design by the Book. Over the past 3 installments, we've watched as 5 New York City artists created work inspired by the library's collections. Today we're headed back to their studio to see what they've made.
I kind of took some of the similar proportions of the actual fixture in the library, deconstructing it a little bit and taking an element. There's a beautiful glass cylinder in that piece, and I'm kind of taking that shape and that form and reapplying it to my metal fixture, which is just a beautiful rectangular box. So the piece will ultimately be pendant lighting, and there'll be a big metal rod that will go to the ceiling and it'll be suspended like that, and then this piece will be, you know, kind of suspended inside it, like such. There'll be an infinity effect of the cylinders. The multiple cylinders will create an infinity box of light. A lot of the work that I've been kind of interested in is being able to layer glass and create an environment for light.
Could you tell us a little bit about one of your favorite parts of the project so far?
I think in this day and age, finding some inspiration from not the obvious place you would find it, and being able to have an opportunity to go back to the analog way of things, which is totally up my alley for being a maker. I mean, this is the greatest homework assignment I've had in a while, so.
When I saw how loose and kind of wide open maps used to be, it kind of gave me the freedom to take that approach to. Just whatever I want it to look like is what it's going to be.
So I love these prints. Could you tell me a little bit about these guys?
Oh, thanks. Well, I pretty much just was playing with different graphics of just things that I like about New York. So I just got some flowers and a couple random birds that I think are pigeons.
You sort of nailed that sort of gray, purpley pink color that they have underneath their...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's one of the many shades of pigeon.
Do you have any advice for designers who might be heading to the library to pursue their own projects?
I guess my advice would be, don't be afraid to ask what's there. You know, for example, Jessica Pigza is one of the research librarians at the library, and she has this fantastic blog, The Handmade Librarian. She's actually blogging about different collections and things that she finds at the library. So that's a great resource too.
You think you'll go back to the library?
Definitely, yeah.
I knew I wanted to make some sort of zine. I stuck with the title Lost in the Stacks, and same idea of using all of these assets and these elements that I had kind of laying around in the studio. Definitely a lot of happy accidents going on in here. The kids are now looking at a giant piece of pie, and this Pac-Man is drooling over it. You know, as I really wanted these guys to be in there, and half the challenge was, okay, what are they doing? What are they looking at? And pie made sense, who knows? And then, you know, here are then all the inserts, and so kind of with my strategy with the inserts was just to kind of fill them with kind of texture and color and pattern, and let them be little pops of color. I kind of set these restraints on myself initially that I really wanted to collage with my elements and the pieces that I had access to in the studio in the same way that I was using the elements from the library. It's kind of like a little recycling-esque project, you know? Reuse, renew, recycle. You know, I don't do a lot of collage. I don't do a lot of kind of cut paper things. I usually just kind of generate from the ground up. But this is great. I'm like totally in love with it. Now I need to figure out how to do more of it. And I think that's just definitely been the biggest like kind of inspirational part of the project.
So, you know, I was working on a Navy men pattern, Navy uniforms from all over the world. So here's the first pattern, which is includes the Navy men in it.
Oh, it turned out so well.
I used the rope to sort of
tie everything together.
Yeah, good one. Yeah. So if you look here, this guy is redrawn over here. He got flipped. And then I made another one actually to go with it.
A second pattern?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I was thinking of doing a sea creatures pattern, but then I changed my mind and I decided to go with all these symbols and take them a little further.
So I would love to know what some of the symbols are and how these translated into the final pattern.
Sure. I just sort of picked them by how they look, not so much what they mean. But the flags overlapping here, that means a signalman, and then the keys, that's a storekeeper.
Oh, okay.
So these are like Coast Guard specialty marks. I just love the feeling of being in that library. It's gorgeous. And I use the picture collection there all the time, but this was more the actual things, which was a different experience. It's like a little different holding like a 1940s book than like a cutout from a magazine. I didn't know there was so much in there, just waiting for us.
Working with the paper has been fantastic. I nailed down a form, which is like so.
It looks very complicated.
It's not too complicated, but paper and water don't mix, apparently. Clue phone, I guess it's for me, you know, but yeah, so we started making this mold, and it's still a work in progress, but certainly stay tuned because it's coming, I promise. So there's a lot of plans.
Yeah, and you're thinking vase with this?
Bud vase or maybe a tea light.
I remember you were also working on some little porcelain figures, or milagros.
Milagros, yeah, the little ex-votos guys.
Yeah.
They actually became jewelry pieces. I have them here in black porcelain with platinum skeleton decals and also gold skeleton decals inside. Now they're just ready to be strung up and such, so they're almost done as well.
And then I don't think we even really talked about this project right here.
I came up with this beautiful decal on flesh-toned cups, and so it's an Ecuadorian kind of tribal design mixed with a Japanese traditional pattern.
So this print right here, this is the Ecuadorian one? Or?
That's the Ecuadorian one, yeah.
It's beautiful. And so this came straight from the research that Jessica pulled for you.
Directly
So
from
cool.
it.
It's just really fun to see sort of how some of these pieces are like literal translations of like, you know, the pattern you saw from your research, and this is sort of like your own spin on things. I think you'll go back.
Girl, of course! Absolutely.
Give Jessica a call.
Yeah, you can do, she's on my speed dial already.
It won't stop until it's over.
So Jessica, what did you think of everyone's final projects?
I was pretty excited about them. They made use of what they found here in really unexpected ways.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, they did.
So do you have any advice for anyone heading out to their local library?
My advice would be just get out there. Go to the library, talk to librarians, find one you click with, and make the most of it.
Good stuff. What about anybody who's in New York here with your library?
I would say the same. Come to the New York Public Library, make the most of what we have. One of our collections that would be great is the picture collection, which allows you to check out and take home images. But even if you're not in New York, you can use the digital gallery online, which allows you to search and browse through over 500,000 images.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your help with the project.
You're welcome.
It was really fun to watch everybody make things inspired by the library's collections, and I just hope it inspires people to go make things at their local library.
Me too.